Videos of myself. It's because I'm so pretty.
Look at me.
We're on. Exactly. That's how I am. I'm like, pay attention. Hi, everyone. My name is Antoinette. I'm the co-chair of Fredericton Pride. I'm here with mayoral candidate Steve Hicks. We're here just going over some questions for Fredericton Pride. Now we're going to go through more of the recent questions. So, you've been in a position of power to make change for many years. Do you feel you acted appropriately to address the concerns of Frederictonians held today before they became crises?
Yes, absolutely. And I think all my council mates and councils before, we're always trying to make Fredericton a better place. This isn't something that's new to just Fredericton. It's happening across the province, across the country. And ever since COVID, it's really become a serious crisis level. The amount of unhoused is critical, and we need services for these individuals, right? We need more shelter services, transitional housing, and they need hope, right? So they can have a better life. So everyone's doing what they can. We just need to do more, and we need to see what's working, what's not working, and set a better path to give these people a chance at a better life.
And I think one of the other concerns that some of our community members have with mayors as well as different forms of government is making sure those levels of communication stay open between municipal, provincial, and federal. So
Absolutely.
I guess my next question to follow that is, you're open to communication from the provincial government, the federal, like you're willing to do those steps and take the
Absolutely. There's no way you can move forward without cooperation from the provincial government, the federal government, and our community partners.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're all here for the same reasons. We all want to provide for our community,
yes.
Right? Susan Holt wants to prove, Dave Miles wants to provide. All the MLAs, we all have the same goals. So we have to work together, and it's got to be a continuous communication between that and also the residents of the city.
Absolutely.
We have to hear from everyone.
Concerns are valid. So, for healthcare and advocacy, what roles do you think the city can play in supporting the infrastructure or land use needs for such a facility to ensure residents have a safe, clear entry point for care?
Yeah, no, I think one of the things we need to do is we need to be more vocal with our provincial and federal partners. Right now, so many people are going without doctors and without support. And we're the capital city, and we have the lowest per capita doctors care in our area, and that's real concerning. I mean, we want to get professionals in our community. We want young families to stay here. We want people to be comfortable and feel part of the community. They need to know that when they want help, it's there. And right now, people are struggling to get referrals. They can't get doctors, right? And when you need care, you want to make sure it's there. So we need to be loud, we need to be vocal, but we also need to be partners, right? If there's ways we can do that the city can help with providing, whether it's land or, anything we can do to help encourage doctors and professionals to come to our community. We got a beautiful community, as you know. It should sell itself, but we're having some challenges getting doctors here, so we got to figure out what more can we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Collaborative care clinics. The provincial government is moving toward collaborative care models, terms of doctors, nurses, pharmacists. What will you do as mayor to ensure the city provides the land use, zoning, and infrastructure needed to fast track these clinics in the neighborhoods that need them most?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest issue provincially, is making sure that people have the care they need. So the last thing the city wants to do is stand in the way of that. We're going to make sure that if land's available, if there's an application come forward, we're going to move that forward as quickly as possible, because it's in dire straits right now. People need care.
Yes.
Of all ages, right?
Yeah, we're in a very big crisis right now. Speaking of crisis, thousands of Frederictonians are currently without a doctor and rely on after-hours clinics. How will you use your position to advocate for more municipal-supported walking capacity while the province works on a long-term attachment?
Again, that's about building partnerships, but also accountability, right? We need to be a loud voice. We need to be a consistent voice, and we need to demand better for our people. And I know the other level of government, they're doing the best they can too. But we just need to be a little bit better and a little bit quicker to get things done, because I don't want people leaving our city or leaving our province because they can't get health care.
As mayor, what will you do to ensure the safety of hosts and attendees so that positive events like Drake's story time can proceed without threat or disruption?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, we need to know when these events are happening, so we can make sure we have people in the area, whether that's security or policing, that can provide support, and maybe go through the special event process so that we know when these are
It's having those
organized,
conversations.
right? Like there's lots of ways to do it, and we want everyone to be safe in all their spaces.
Absolutely.
We just want people to be kind and enjoy our public spaces. It's for everyone to enjoy. So there's certainly a role we can play there.
Absolutely. So I know that education's more of a provincial thing. However, I'm curious if you have any knowledge towards this. What are you doing to ensure that 2S LGBTQIA plus youth and children are safe and thriving in public schools? How will you use the mayor's platform to protect them? And again, don't panic. And you know what? We're going to scratch this whole question. We're not even going to go there. We're not going to go there. And you can keep rolling. We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
And then the UNESCO, that one, I had no idea. No.
I was wishing I had pictures from my first gay wedding. I could have sent Arthur. So I worked at John Howard Society for years.
Yeah.
And my boss was gay, and a lot of people on the board were gay, a lot of folks that worked there.
Yeah.
And she had a wedding out in Mactaquac, and it was the funnest time ever. This was like 25 years ago, and me and my wife are the only non-gay people there.
That went.
Yeah.
Gays okay.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, invisible disabilities. How will you ensure that the city's inclusive municipality framework explicitly protects those with invisible disabilities, neurodivergence, chronic pain, sensory processing disorders? No?
I should explain that a little more.
So-
how would you ensure
The city has been implementing different programs for autistic, so like the National Access Pool, for an example. I've been creeping there because they have like a women's swim. They have a safe space swim for LGBTQI+, which is friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
So they have one for like gender-based women's violence, so it's just women that are not comfortable for men. Like they're doing all these specific times. So it
I
seems
knew
like
about the swim.
and I think that's awesome, and I'm curious what else the city might be looking at doing, possibly like those kinds of events that are run where it's just hey, we're going to set aside a few hours of the day for this specific group. My other thing that I'm aware of is parking. The Snooty Fox, parking down there sometimes has issues.
Oh, they're right on the street there?
Correct. And of course, neighborhood parking, like the people who are in wheelchairs and whatnot, when someone's parked on a driveway or a sidewalk, that screws everything up. And a lot of people don't think of that.
No.
But it can ruin someone's day.
We're
very
very
quickly.
community. They think of themselves and not others.
So it kind of falls down into that. So like, it's same with like these questions. Will you commit to including sensory-friendly hours and quiet zones? So basically, a lot of spots in the city are starting to do this, even for Pride with Monarch. They have Monarchs open as a sensory safe space. So while everyone's doing the Pride parade.
So these are terms I've never heard.
Okay, so sensory, low lighting, low music. So a lot of autistic people will go to Monarch to not be around the parade, but want to support, but can't. So like for me, for an example, I have a brain condition where I can't be around loud things for too long. So I need to go into those quiet spaces. Or like if I go to movie theaters or events, I have to bring headphones because the noise bothers me too much. And everyone's different. So like my first time going to an event, I had to wear sunglasses and a stage show and earphones, and I thought I was the weirdest person. But I wasn't. There were so many neurospicy people there that also had very similar stuff.
You never know what's people are
and that's
dealing
just
with,
it.
right?
So like, I guess what these people are looking at, what kinds of things will the city do? I think it would be really cool if the city did like a silent disco one day. Like with the headphones, because that everyone can participate in. Like there's so many different things, and they're all just educational.
So like your group, would they come forward with these ideas and proposals? Like that would kind of be the way it should work, right?
We do. So it's all learning curves.
And maybe that's some way the city could partner is to help
write grants. There is someone we've been working with in tourism, Gwen. I can't remember her last name. She's been very helpful.
Okay, good.
They've been lovely. Kate Rogers has also been absolutely lovely to deal with. What specific municipal proposals, such as inclusive housing initiatives, will you bring in to address their unique needs and ensure elders age with dignity?
Read that?
Yeah. So it's one of those ones that falls into like
provincial kind of, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the city doesn't build housing, but we make an environment so it's conducive to housing. And we know we need various types of housing, transitional housing. We need housing for seniors, people with disabilities, all kinds of different aspects. And we have opportunities where we can provide land. We've done that previously. We hope to be able to do that moving forward. I'll read that again. Cut that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
This is a mission proposal such as. So when you're talking about elders, you're talking like
Senior citizens,
Okay.
so they can age in their home.
Yeah.
They can age with grace because, like, as you know, all of the senior care homes are
Phil.
pretty much full. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, for that one, it would basically just be, open dialogue with provincial government, making sure. So it's all conversation. Like, they're all kind of generally associated with similar questions.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of demand, right?
Yeah.
For all folks out there, and it's heartbreaking because I met with a lot of seniors going door to door that with the property taxes and stuff. They're like, I don't know how much longer I can stay here, right? Because they're on a fixed income. If everything's going up, there's no flexibility in your income, right?
1,000%.
So if anything we can do to create inclusive communities where elders can still socialize and recreate and feel connected to their community and stay in their own home, I think it's a win for everyone.
So I think then with what you're saying, because we were talking earlier where some people were saying you were talking about cutting some taxes. Was that correct?
Well, yeah, we were looking at cutting the budget a bit.
But people were worried that you'd be cutting back on what you'd be cutting back, right?
Yeah.
So in doing so and reducing taxes, do you think the cuts would be more beneficial to reduce that tax? Like, do you think the cuts would be worth it, I guess?
And essentially what I was hoping for is to have a deeper dive into our budgets, because our budget's increased by about 8 or 9% every year. Okay. That's not sustainable. For years and years, it increased by 2%, and we were still providing the service, right? So it isn't about specific programs. We do a lot of programs good, but it's actually diving into operational budgets and making sure that all the money's going to the right place and having those conversations to make sure it's being spent properly. It's not simply, I never ever said the word cuts.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, sure.
That's kind of the thing. But I think every so often in government, you should be looking inward to make sure everything is accounted for. There's a plan for it. You know the long-term impact of all your decisions, because a lot of great things come forward and we say, oh, that sounds great, but we don't think of the long-term operational costs, because those go up and they never go away. So we want to make sure we're doing so we can provide things that we're talking about here. We can do things that are important to the community.
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. How do you feel about the Truth and Reconciliation Acts?
I think we need to continue to work with our First Nations community, the Indigenous community. I know we got a good relationship with Sytunsic, and I know the city's been working along that. We've done a lot of training. There's a long ways to go, and the same thing. That's all about communications and learning from one another and keeping the dialogue open. And there's a lot of good things that are happening over in St. Mary's.
Yes. So I did ask Jenica this one. The UN UNDRIP. So basically they're an education department for violence, as well as Indigenous issues, and they go to different police stations and give education on resources. Okay, so we'll go back into that question, and literally all for education.
Yeah.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls upon all levels of government to provide education to public servants on history of Aboriginal peoples, including the legacy of residential schools and UNDRIP. Will you commit to making this training mandatory and recurring for all City of Fredericton staff, including the Fredericton Police Force?
Yeah, I don't think we would ever want to discourage education and training. Anything that puts our police officers in a better situation to do their job. We provide servicing to Sytunsic First Nation, so anything to improve that relationship and make people more knowledgeable of the history, I think that's a win for everyone.
Absolutely. So have you given any thought to how the city will support the revitalization of the Wolastoq language in public spaces? Do they talk about that in council at all?
Well, there's a a school operated through Satanzik where they're teaching the language now.
Okay.
So I believe that's been renewed for another year.
Excellent.
100% sure. But I think anything you can do to support that is important because so many people have lost the language over the years. I've worked with a lot of Indigenous individuals, and the language is fallen to a wayside. So the fact that they're working to bring that back it's encouraging.
Would the city ever implement it towards like their office buildings, like where there's parking spaces where it's French and English, implementing like the Willis language as well?
Yeah, I think that's something the city would be open to for sure. Yeah, like we want to encourage that partnership. And
So I think realistically at this point, my camera's not working very well.
oh, okay.
I think what's best is to do like a closing statement. I'll make sure the questions are good. If there's anything that I do have any specific questions, do you mind if I text you and you can give me like a written statement?
Sure.
And that way
Sure.
everything will, like, I just don't want to give Jenica more time than you because this isn't your fault. This is my phone and that's a me issue. So we'll just wrap it up for now. And then again, if there's anything else I need, I'll just send you a quick text with that. So on that note, again, everyone, this is candidate Mayor Stephen Hicks. He'll be running for the candidacy, and the election is May 11th.
May 11th.
Okay.
Advance polls 2nd and 4th.
Everyone get out and vote. Very important step.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say to our followers?
Well, I would just like to thank you for providing me this opportunity to talk to you. This is a learning for me. I hope if I do get elected, we can build on this relationship and I can get feedback and you can tell me what's important to the Pride community. We can be better partners and we can make sure that everyone's feels safe and included in our community, and just want everyone to be kind and enjoy our public spaces. And like I said, I would like to have a really good partnership.
And again, thank you so much for meeting. I look forward to the election, and I hope we can continue to grow our conversation and to learn from each other.